Hey guys, what's up? So, now, back to my more finish up Death Battle reviews. I'm trying to finish out the season in 5 so I can get. I just want to review the rest of the series, rest of Death Battle series. So, yeah, let's review more rest of Death Battle stuff. First up. So, yeah, see, we're doing season 4 now. Lara Croft versus Nathan Drake. Yeah, a little bit controversial fight due to how the I don't Lara Croft while using the bottleneck and using all three different continuities, all three game continuities, and Nathan Drake his own the Sea Hooters, the greatest treasure hunters in there. I know it was a pretty good fight. Money was mostly on Laura, so I'm not really a Nathan Drake guy. I'm not really try to see. I did find honestly the fight to be pretty good, though I do feel like I can see why this fight wasn't that great. Maybe because it was a little bit too how having problems with how Nathan Drake is portrayed and the ending controversy fight. If you don't know, it was the helicopter. The ending where the aspect after the stroke. Yeah, I admit this fight was a little controversial for that scene, but I'm gonna say I know it's still a pretty good fight. Honestly, I do feel like that maybe the ending was a little. Maybe just people were expecting. Yeah, Nathan Drake will still survive that and probably kill Laura. But I thought still the fight was pretty good. Maybe it's just a luck thing. Then you go. But I always feel like Lauren Croft's a bit stronger though, and maybe I'll just be real here. He's more human a bit, and while yes, he has really more luck hacks for the most part in the series, but yeah, I can see why this. Then again, the Tomahawk ending. Maybe it's just people are just a little salty that Lovecraft lost a bit. It was a little bit of a controversial fight, but I think it's still pretty good actually. I still think it's a pretty good fight, but yeah, I can see maybe just people were a little just too biased towards this fight. Right. I thought it was an alright fight, a pretty good fight. Maybe it's just people were not keen on this type of fight. Oh well. I still think it's pretty good. Next up, we get to Scrooge McDuck versus Shovel Knight. And before we start, yes, I'll get the Shovel Knight reviewed. Yes, I'll get the first 2 seasons of DuckTales done eventually. I'll get to that point when we get to that point. I mean, when you get to that point, I am trying to review other series before this guy. Alright. So, yeah. Uh, uh, oh yeah, right. Yeah, I'll review the Scrooge McDuck. Yes, I'll review the DuckTales TV show when I get to that. When we get to that. Still, I think season 4 is still pretty good. Season 3 has been pretty good so far. I like the show, and yeah, I like the DuckTales series so far. It's pretty good. I do really like the callbacks, references. I feel like season 3 was a bit more into the bring a lot more characters into it. Versus Shovel Knight. Yeah, Shovel Knight, who is a popular indie game character, and I pretty much like he essentially called the mascot in indie games, and also likes to cameo a lot. Yeah, obviously I do like this fight. It was one of my favorite fights, albeit I do like the more rich treasure hunters versus treasure hunters. And I admit this is before DuckTales 2017 was released. This was ever announced slash released, which yeah, which I also and I admit it was an epic fight. I do really like the pixel animation. It kind of fits the whole character on this whole fight theme. I admit the ending was a bit brutal. Just slices his head up. There's a whole shot. Shrewsbury Ducks finishes Shovel Knight by going slicing his head through his shot Stone Shovel. Wow, that's got to be the brutal way to end things. And it's a really good fight, actually. Next up is Venom versus Boo. Yeah. Venom versus Bane. Yeah. Yeah, the second time that we get to a Spider-Man versus Batman related fight, we got. Yeah, that was really. It was an amazing fight, seeing the Nightmare versus the man who broke the bat. And obviously, I was expecting Venom a bit. Yeah, Venom won this one. I really like this one. Action, pretty good and whatnot. Next up, we get to Power Rangers versus Voltron, or particularly the original Megazord. The original Megazord versus the Voltron. Okay, I'm gonna confess, I'm never really a Voltron guy. Especially, I never saw the reboot series. I never saw the reboot. I never saw the original more. I never saw much of the other series, including the reboots. Featuring four random Sentai members. I think the manga's alright, though. I think they do look a bit too photorealistic of it. And honestly, it was a pretty good fight, albeit I did feel like Power Rangers should have won that fight. Fun fact, they got most of the voice act. Fun fact about this fight, they clearly got a lot of voice actors to do this. They got literally Andre Blackner, Jeffrey Space Hamster, Peanut Butter Gamer, and even MatPat was even in this episode. Yeah, this was the most expensive episode to make, mainly because of the voice actors. It just feels like a more all-star cast voice acting crew. I feel like they really much get a lot of these voice actors to do this. I feel it was one of the more crazier. It was one of the more expensive ones because my god, they have a lot of these voice actors to do this episode. Man, it was And yeah, I'm never a huge fan of Voltron myself, and Voltron was never my, let's say, I'm never really a Voltron fan, to be honest. And so, and then Voltron won. Yeah, I feel like Power Rangers should have won this fight. I do feel like Power Rangers should have won this fight, but hey, the animation looks pretty incredible. I find it kind of weird they hire MatPat of all people to voice Keith. Even yeah, it's kind of weird how they hired MatPat, the guy who's more into video game research. Actually, did voice acting for Death Battle. Actually, yeah, no joke. Oh, yeah, I already mentioned. It's kind of weird. They were more using the original series, not the reboot series I once, not the reboot anime series I'm always familiar with. Yeah, I did feel like Power Rangers should have won because they fought more monsters of the week than whatever this Lion Boys have. I kind of wish they did include the Mastodon and the Tyrannosaurus Zords because they do feel. I know they may be a little bit outside help, but still, shouldn't they use Tommy since Red Ranger owns the Tommy power ups? And I would have gone better if they just summoned the other two. Oh, if you know what I mean, some of the Dragon Sword and Tyrannosaurus Sword, but oh well, still a pretty good fight. Maybe I'm just more of a guy who just prefers the way prefers something like that. But oh well, a pretty good fight. But yeah, I still think Power Rangers should win. Next fight, and the second to last fight. Before I was a Fairy Tail fan, and even like Urza, like I said in my last video, and also season 7 review. But oh wait, this is during after. I watch a lot of Fairy Tail, and I'm really a fan of the French series anime. So yeah, Natsu versus Ace. Yeah, I thought that Nightmare Fuel facing you were gonna run towards the end, but it was a pretty pretty good fight. I like the research and amazingness. And one of these two, yeah, this as well as the Urza. This Zoro fight was one of my childhood. This was one of those fights before I was really into Fairy Tail. This is be I really like this fight. I thought it was good research. The animation was pretty good. Minus that weird nightmare film for the face, but I think it was a pretty good fight. Overall, yeah, fire v fire, and then the next fight, Ice v Ice. Oh, Sub-Zero versus Glacier. Money was on Sub-Zero, as I don't really know too much about Glacier, and I never really am a Killer Instinct fan. Luckily, I was predicting it correctly. I don't really like the fake out cozy, and it's a pretty good fight, and I really like this fight. It's nice to learn who Glacier is. Next up is one of the more, I would like to say, controversial fights. I know this is before Captain Marvel even existed, but it's still one of the more controversial fights. Android 18 versus Captain Marvel. This was highly controversial, and it was a pretty good fight. It was amazing and whatnot, and it's pretty good. I think I knew this thing is pretty good before it was controversial and before Captain Marvel. The reason this was controversial is because the miscalculation feat. Android 18's speed feat, it was miscalculated. Being, turns out and even isn't that her actual speed is about 5,000, 500,000 and 15 million and 300,000 meters per hour. And also questionable if able to absorb energy when she's not able to in the series. He said that's because he did it in Xenoverse and other androids were built similarly. It wouldn't be issues were well, but warns the other viewers it didn't impact the results much. Yeah. Ben even admits this was he did admit and apologize for this error in a tweet. Unfortunately that tweet is never existed anymore. Unfortunately that tweet never existed. Unfortunately, this tweet is unavailable at the moment, possibly deleted, but yeah, still I think it's a pretty good fight. Next up, we get to Metal Sonic versus Zero. Yeah, I still think it's a pretty good fight. However, I was not really keen how much memory to this fight. That's a pretty good fight, albeit I wasn't complaining too much. It was still a pretty good fight. Next up, probably to make up for every single Marvel and DC, probably to make up for the Pokemon fans after that. This fight was possibly to make up for a lot of people. For Pokemon fans after Charizard versus Randomon, I am being more precise on that. Or Red and Charizard versus Tyann Agumon. With Lucario versus Randomon, I really enjoyed this fight. The sprite animation was pretty good. The research was there, and I think it's pretty great. I do really like how he killed. Yeah, this is before I wasn't really much of a huge Digimon fan. It's like, get straight to the throat and. Ah, yes. Man, I love Lucario finish off Randomon. Overall, a pretty good fight. Yeah, it was a pretty good fight, actually. Albeit it did feel was just to make up for Death Belt. But hey, it was a pretty good fight. Next up, we got to Balrog versus TJ Combo. I think it was one of my favorite death battles. I do really like the setting, the character, the animation, the research, the fight, and, well, it's a pretty good fight. It was excellent, and I do really like the action and whatnot. And while I admit I don't really know too much about Balrog or TJ Combo, it's still a pretty good fight to see a boxing match death battle. It fits the whole theme, and I do really like it set in the boxing match. It's still pretty good for those who are wondering for more boxing. I recommend showing this to more for boxing fans. It's a pretty good episode. Next up is Shredder versus the Silver Samurai. This is the only time I wasn't really keen on Shredder at the time. I wasn't really much of a Shredder fan. Okay. No, wait, no, wrong script. I wasn't keen on being. I didn't know Silver Samurai was in Marvel. Yeah, I wasn't aware of all the clips they use, like Wolverine or anyone else. Yeah, I wasn't really a Silver Samurai guy. I was more of a Shredder guy myself. I'm a TNT, mainly because I was a huge. I like TNT, and nice to see Shredder was in the show, and yeah, I expect Shredder to win. And yeah, Shredder wins. Yeah, well, it's a pretty good fight. This fight was one of my least great, and we next move to a great joke battle. But I'll give this a bit of a pass. So yes, when they announced Christopher Saber versus and, and Christopher are going to fight each other in a death battle, and then they show Smokey Bear versus Crime Gruff, the Grind Dog, and they show. I looked up who they are, and turns out, oh my god, this is gonna. I thought they were a cool protagonist or something like that from my Austin T. Turns out they're PSA characters. PSA mascots. Okay, look. And it's gonna be a joke battle. Like, come on, you're wasting two good voice actors just for this fight. And then they planned this months ago, and but I'll give this a pass. The animation. This is the first time they went for hand-drawn animation. I really like this. This is a nice little change up from the typical 2D fights and everything. And it was bad ass this fight. I really like this fight. Mainly the animation, the voice acting. Most of the animation. I showed my favorite for actually doing the animation for this episode, and it's pretty good. I'm mainly liking animation. It's a nice little break from the typical, to the typical pixel animation. And this hand drawn animation will later on be reused again the hand drawn does stay and actually reused in a couple of other fights. We will get to some of these fights when we get to that. And done by different animators. And so yeah, it was a pretty good fight, albeit I'm not really into joke battles, but the animation pretty much makes up most of it, and the voice acting. Next up is Thor versus Wonder Woman. Yeah, it was a remote Ragnarok pretty much. I thought it was a pretty good fight and whatnot. Albeit, yeah, I did feel like it was a bit of lower rating due to how, yeah, because they picked this over the, yeah, I know it's a bit off, but I still think it's a pretty good fight to see which mythological of godly powerhouse, royal and godly powerhouses would fight. Naruto vs Ichigo was one of my favorite fights. While I'm never a huge Naruto fan or even a Bleach fan, it was still a pretty good fight. I do really like the battle between who's the best shonen protagonist of all shonens. And it's overall a pretty good fight. It, still a pretty good, still a pretty good fight. Next, we get to Batman Beyond versus Spider-Man 2099. A bit filler, but yeah, yeah, I was expecting that. Yeah, and while the last encounter, I was expecting Spider-Man 99 when Batman Beyond won. I've watched a fair bit of Batman Beyond, but never Spider-Man 1999. I don't think he ever appeared too often, by the way. I don't know really too much of Batman 19. Yes, I watched some episodes of Batman Beyond, though never much episodes of Spider-Man 2099. I had not too much stuff. And yeah, he never appeared too much outside of maybe shows and comics. Yeah, it's still a pretty good fight though. A pretty good fight, and yeah. Next up, and the finale to the fourth season, Sephiroth versus Virgil. I think it's a pretty good fight actually. I'm the only one that thinks it's still pretty good. I feel the action, feeling like the silver hair dark villainous dark swordsman was interesting fight. It goes I really like this. It was an excellent, pretty good fight actually. I really like this. I get and I enjoy. I think the obviously Virgil won this. I know Sephiroth won this fight, and obviously I think it's a still pretty good fight. Overall, this was also a pretty good fight. I think the season was pretty good. I feel like all the matchups and everything were obvious. It was. Oh, I think the season was mostly good. I do really like the fights and everything, and it's overall a pretty good season. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. And goodbye. Bye.